Hey there, thinking what is on the screen now. So, this is a very common motor which we all have seen in our remote control cars and some, pullback cars or some kind of toys, right? So, we know that we will be connecting these two silver golden parts here to the battery, and this part will be rotating. And we have even played with this very much, right? We have sticked a fan here that will be, we have used it as propellers and wheels and etc., right? So now this is known as DC motor. So what exactly is DC motor? Like servo motor, DC motor is also a motor which will help us to move things, right? So servo motor used to just tilt or shake the things, but this will rotate the things like fan, wheels, etc. So in the future videos we'll be learning about servo motor and DC motor both. So as of now we'll see what is DC motor in easy way. So DC motor changes electricity into movement, that is rotation. So when the electricity is passed here there will be a rotation. So in between, what happens? So let's see that. When we open the DC motor, it looks something like this. So this is what it looks like. So here there is a cover for that, in which we can see there are magnets, and we have a metallic part here which is filled with copper, and a shaft which is in between, and there is cap on which we have the connections for our wires which will be going to battery. So this is what inside a DC motor, but this is not so much clear, right? So how do we understand how it works and what are the different things and different tasks of every part in this? So that we'll be seeing now. So in DC motor, magnets and coils communicate commutator, shaft and bushes and stator magnets. So these are the important parts in DC motor. So due to these five parts, that is rotor coil, commutator, shaft, bushes, stator magnets, the DC motor will be working as it needs to be worked. So let's understand what exactly this is. So let's start with bushes. This is very much easy to understand. These are like electric messengers. They carry electricity from battery into the spinning part. So when you connect it to the battery, the bushes here will be, carrying the electricity from the battery. The battery gives you electricity for the bushes, and bushes will pass that same electricity to our DC motor. So next we have commutator. So what is commutator here? So this circular path here on the shaft is known as commutator. This is a smart switch for our DC motor. Like it changes the direction of electricity, so the motor keeps spinning instead of stopping. See, we have two bushes here, right? So both the things will be getting electricity. How does DC motor know in which direction to rotate? It can rotate in anti-clockwise, it can either rotate in clockwise. So this is why we use commutator. Commutator will change the direction of electricity, so it will be like coming from positive and going from negative, so that the bush will give the proper electricity, and the commutator will be rotating in one direction, so that the shaft also rotates in one direction. Next we have rotor coil. What are rotor coil exactly? It is here the coil thing, that is like copper kind of thing here, that is a rotor coil. So it is made of coil. These are like wires that become a magnet when electricity flows. The magnet wants to move. Like you can say that the copper wires here in the DC motor, it are those are like magnets, but it is not. Those are wires itself. When it act like magnet is when you pass the electricity to the DC motor, it will act as magnets and it will work accordingly. Next, we have stator magnets. So what are stator magnets exactly? We have one magnet here, right? Then again, why of this magnet? So this is an actual magnet which will not work when only when the electricity is passed. It is a magnet 24/7. So only the wiring part here will be working as magnet when the electricity is passed. But this is a stator magnet. These are fixed magnets stuck to the motor's body. Actually, in the previous slide which we saw here, in this one, so here we can see a black part, that is a magnet. So that is what we are seeing now. So when we go back to this magnets, what it does is this they push and pull the rotor magnet. So when the you know the coil is moving here and the commutator is also moving, they pull and push. So this magnet will push, and this magnet will pull, so that it will um, rotate in a one direction. If both will pull the magnet, the shaft will stop. If both will push, then even though the shaft will stop, or it will not move in one direction. So that is why one magnet will be pulling the coil and one magnet will be pushing, so that it will be rotating. So here comes the main part, shaft. Shaft are is a rod that spins. So whatever you connect it, like fans, wheels, or toy, or anything, will move. So when you connect anything to the shaft, it will move. So that is the function of shaft. So overall, what are these is the stator magnet. It will pull and push, so that it will be rotating in one direction, and the rotor coils are copper wires which will act as a magnet when you pass the electricity to that. And the commutator here, the brown part between the bushes, is it is like gives the direction. It is a smart switch for the DC motor. So it will help that to move in one direction. And the bushes are like messengers. They carry electricity from battery to the DC motor. And the shaft is where we connect all the things. So this was about the DC motors. So when we see that here there is a shaft, there are bushes here in this part, and this is where the electricity comes in to the bush, and bush will give it to the commutator, and it will go to rotor coil and the magnets, and that's it. So this is how the DC motor will work. Today we have learned that um, how exactly if DC motor work, which we see in our toys, in our any kind of things. So in simple form, electricity from the battery comes to the bushes, and bushes send it to rotor coil, and the rotor becomes a magnet. So this will become a magnet, and stator magnets pull and push it, so that it will be rotating, and commutator flips the current so that it will rotate in one direction, and rotor keeps spinning, and shaft turns, the movement happens. So this is how it works. So these motors we use in our fans, toy cars, etc. So this is how the DC motor works, and that's it for today. See you in the next video, robot builders.